Good evening. It's a beautiful day in the village of Oak Lawn. This is the President and Board of Trustees regular meeting, agenda number 2017-14. The date's Tuesday, August 8th, 2017. It's 7:31 p.m. Please take the roll. President Barry? Here. Trustee Strike?
Yes.
Trustee Stalker?
Here.
Trustee Oladichuk?
Here.
Trustee Desmond?
Here.
Trustee Phelan?
Here.
And Trustee Warder?
Here.
We have a quorum. Thanks. Would everyone rise for the pledge, please? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. I'm told we have no public comments tonight, Jane? Thank you. Very good. Item 4 on tonight's agenda is conflict of interest disclosure. Does anyone have a conflict to disclose with any item on tonight's agenda? None. We're going to move on to item 5, the swearing in of Oak Lawn Police Department personnel. We're going to start with William R. Palmer, Police Chief, then have Glenn Brothen, Police Lieutenant, Michael Fortuna, Police Sergeant, Patrick Curran, Police Sergeant, Mark Walsh, Police Officer, Mark Todla, Police Officer, Anthony Parmigiani, I hope I said that right, Police Officer. Jane, I'm going to let you take over from here. Should they all come up one at a time? I'll come up. Okay. Why don't you line up in the sides and... This is quite the pleasure tonight, so we'll get started. I, William R. Palmer,
I, William R. Palmer,
having been promoted
to
the rank of Police Chief
the rank of Police Chief
in the Village of Oak Lawn, County of Cook,
in the Village of Oak Lawn, County of Cook,
do solemnly swear
swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
and the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties of the office of Police Chief to the best of my ability,
to the best of my ability,
so help me God.
so help me God. Make my way back down.
Can you introduce any family with you tonight?
Absolutely. My lovely wife Trish and my daughter Maddie. So many people helped me get here, and Bill, all the support, all the mentoring, men and women. These are the people that make it work, and I am proud to lead these men and women. So, thank you very much.
Should tell me a little story? Sure. Quick little story about Glenn here. About 35 years ago, I used to hear these kids out in my backyard playing basketball. He was one of them. Great kid, and here he is today, so we're proud of him. Not that old. Okay, we'll get started. I, Glenn Brothen,
I, Glenn Brothen,
having been promoted
to
the rank of Police Lieutenant
the rank of Police Lieutenant
in the Village of Oak Lawn, County of Cook,
in the Village of Oak Lawn, County of Cook,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
and the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
and that I will faithfully discharge
and that I will faithfully discharge
the duties of the office
the duty of the office
of Police Lieutenant
of Police Lieutenant
to the best of my ability,
to the best of my ability,
so help me God.
so help me God.
Congratulations. Any family with you today, sir?
Yes, I do. Thank you. I have my beautiful wife, Lisa, my beautiful little girl, Grace, my 3-year-old, my mom, my beautiful daughter Haley, and my handsome son Zach. And my blue family here, everybody, all the boys in blue behind you here, and my dad, who's not with us today, but he's they're the reason I'm here today, and I'd like to thank you all.
I, Michael Fortuna,
I, Michael Fortuna,
having been promoted
having been promoted
to the rank of police sergeant
to the rank of police sergeant
in the village of Oak Lawn, County of Cook,
in the village of Oak Lawn, County of Cook,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
and the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
and that I will faithfully discharge
and that I will faithfully discharge
the duties of the office
the duties of the office
of police sergeant
of police sergeant
to the best of my ability,
to the best of my ability,
so help me God.
so help me God.
Congratulations. Any family here?
Yes, I have my wife, my two sons, my mother, my father. Who else? I got my aunt and uncle, and then my brother-in-law and sister-in-law.
A lovely mother out there, Sharon. Oh, a friend of mine here. I got to know her when I first got elected, and she's been a doll, so you're lucky.
Thank you. I am lucky.
I, Patrick Curran,
I, Patrick Kern,
having been promoted
having been promoted
to the rank of police sergeant,
to the rank of police sergeant,
the village of Oak Lawn, County of Cook,
the village of Oak Lawn, County of Cook,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
I will support the Constitution of the United States,
the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
and that I will faithfully discharge
and that I will faithfully discharge
the duties of the office
the duties of the office
of police sergeant
of police sergeant
to the best of my ability,
to the best of my ability.
so help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations. Any family you want to introduce?
Yes, I do. My mom and dad are here. I thank for getting me here this far. Also, my wife Jackie, my beautiful wife Jackie. My three sons, Patrick, John, and Brian. There he is on the end. Make your dad proud. And then I have my brother Tom, who's a homicide detective in Chicago, and my little brother who's, there he made it, Danny. So, and their wives are here, Debbie and Colleen. So thanks for coming. I appreciate it. My father-in-law and mother-in-law. Congratulations. Thank you.
Pat, I remember attending your game.
Oh, yeah.
On the west,
Think I've
I
been
did
making-
as a
yeah.
captain.
Yep.
Congratulations.
Yes.
Okay. Here we go. I, Mark Walsh,
I, Mark Walsh,
having been appointed
having been appointed
to the position
to the position
Police Patrol Officer
of Police Patrol Officer
in the village of Oak Lawn, County of Cook,
in the village of Oak Lawn, County of Cook,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
and the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
and that I will faithfully discharge
and that I will faithfully discharge
the duties of the office
the duties of
of Police Patrol Officer
Police Patrol Officer
to the best of my ability,
to the best of my ability,
so help me God.
Help me God.
Welcome to the Village of Oakland.
Any family with you today that you'd like to introduce?
I have my mother, my father, my 2 sisters, my aunt, and 2 of my cousins.
Wow. I, Mark Tadla,
I, Mark Tadla,
having been appointed
having been appointed
to the position
to the position
of Police Patrol Officer
of Police Patrol Officer
in the Village of Oak Lawn, County of Cook,
in the Village of Oak Lawn, County of Cook,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
and the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
and that I will faithfully discharge
and that I will faithfully discharge
the duties of the office
the duties of the office
of Police Patrol Officer
of Police Patrol Officer
to the best of my ability,
to the best of my ability,
so help me God.
so help me God.
Last but not least. Wait a minute, Jane.
I will.
Just a moment. Any family here today?
Yes, my mother is here and my uncle.
I, Anthony Parmigiani,
I, Anthony Parmigiani,
having been appointed
having been appointed
to the position
to the position
of Police Patrol Officer
of Police Patrol Officer
in the Village of Oak Lawn,
in the Village of Oak Lawn,
County of Cook,
County of Cook,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
and the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
and that I will faithfully discharge
faithfully discharge
the duties of the office
the duties of the office
of Police Patrol Officer
of Police Patrol Officer
to the best of my ability.
to the best of my ability, so help me God.
Any family here with you?
You, my girlfriend Lex, my father Vince, my aunt,
Is he the one with the camera?
he's the one, my aunt Kathy, my cousin Grace, and my uncle Brian.
Very nice. Well, if that doesn't make you feel good, I don't know what will. The family do not have to stay for our board meeting, so feel free to use this opportunity to take a break. But I do want our new chief to come to the podium and just say a few words.
Well, first of all, what I would like to say is thank you to the mayor, thank you to the board, thank you to Larry, thank you to Jane for giving me the opportunity to lead such a fantastic group of people. I think as you see, we're in good hands going forward, and I'm excited. I think the men and women of our department are excited going forward. We have hope. We have a great staff, so I could say the Village of Oak Lawn is in good hands. So I look forward in serving you, and I know the men and women standing behind me do as well. So if we can ever do anything for you, obviously, reach out to the village, or you have my number, reach out for me, and we'll try to do everything we can to make you feel a little safer. I'm open for ideas. I don't think anybody in this business has the market on anything, so if somebody has some ideas, I would love to sit down, and I have already with a lot of the board members, and they've got some great ideas, and we are excited moving forward. And I can tell you that the board and the mayor and all of them, I can't remember a time we've gone to them and asked for something and they've said no. So thank you for your support. Thank you for your understanding, and we hope to make you proud. Thank you.
Thank you. We're really excited for our future, and thank you very much. And again, families, if you don't want to stay, this is the time to take a break. While the room clears, I just want to let residents know that Chief Palmer has been with the Village of Oak Lawn for 25 years now, and before that, he was in the Air Force for 4 years. He's got a very, very good reputation. He served for 13 years on the Major Crimes Unit for the South Suburban area, so that means that all the really unfortunate, severe criminal events that have happened, he's participated in it in a collaborative way with other communities. He's very, very well regarded, and we're very excited. So we're just going to give folks one more minute or two. Thank you. Filthy glasses, not good. So item 6 is a proclamation. This is the Village of Oak Lawn Payroll Week proclamation. Whereas the American Payroll Association and its more than 21,000 members have launched a nationwide public awareness campaign that pays tribute to more than 150 million people who work in the United States and the payroll professions who support the American system of paying wages, reporting worker earnings, and withholding federal employment taxes. And whereas payroll professionals in the Village of Oak Lawn play a key role in maintaining the economic health of the Village of Oak Lawn, carrying out such diverse tasks as paying into the unemployment insurance system, providing information for child support enforcement, and carrying out tax withholding, reporting and depositing, and whereas payroll departments collectively spend more than $2.2 trillion annually complying with the myriad federal and state wage and tax laws, and whereas payroll professionals play an increasingly important role ensuring the economic security of American families by helping to identify non-custodial parents and making sure they comply with their child support mandates, and whereas payroll professionals meet regularly with federal and state officials to discuss both improving compliance with government procedures and how compliance can be achieved at less cost to both government and businesses, whereas the week in Labor Day, in which Labor Day falls, has been proclaimed National Payroll Week. Now therefore I, Dr. Sandra Berry, Village President of the Village of Oak Lawn, hereby give additional support to the efforts of the people who work in Oak Lawn, Illinois, and of the payroll profession by proclaiming the first week of September Payroll Week for the Village of Oak Lawn, dated this 8th day of August, 2017. Thank you. Item 7 is a request to approve a tent sale for Discount Rugs and Furniture located at 9659 South Cicero Avenue from September 1st to September 4th, 2017. May I have a motion on 7, please?
Motion to approve.
Thank you. Trustee Warder made that motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you. I'm going to give that to Trustee Desmond. He was just a tad quicker. Any discussion? Let's take that vote, please.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes.
Thank you. Number 8 is a request to approve Park Lawn Dash for Disabilities 5K Walk Run to be held on Saturday, September 23rd, 2017. May I have a motion, please, on number 8?
Motion to approve.
Thank you. That was Trustee Olenichek who made that motion.
Second.
Seconded by Trustee Stalker. Any discussion? And is anyone from Park Lawn here who would like to talk about that event? Yes. Hi, come on up to the podium, and if you could say a few words about it. We need you to always start by introducing yourself and let us know if you live in Oak Lawn.
Oh, sure.
Thank you.
I'm Sherry O'Donnell. I live in Oak Lawn. I've been a resident for 10 years. We're doing our second annual Dash for Disabilities, benefiting Park Lawn. 100% of the proceeds will go back to the organization to keep the wonderful programs and services that they have currently going for individuals with intellectual and developmental disabilities. This year we've kind of changed it a little bit. Each participant will receive, we're having a taco truck come by Tony's Tacos. So everyone gets a choice of either 3 steak tacos or 3 chicken tacos. And we've also changed it where we've allowed a cash prize of $200 to any male or female overall that can come out and beat our course record. So we have a couple of raffles, and we're waiting on a couple, possibly having Tommy Hawk come out, but we're still waiting. We have to wait 4 weeks before the event to see if he can, so hopefully he will. But hopefully he can come out and join us on September 23rd at 8 o'clock.
Thank you very much. It's a great event, and in these days of such questionable funding from our state, it's never been more important to come out and support these local organizations. So we really appreciate you being here. Thank you. And we have a motion and a second. Any other discussion on this item? Let's call the vote, please.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes.
Thank you. Number 9 is a request to approve the Oaklawn Hometown District 123 World Vision 6K for clean water for African students to be held on Saturday, September 30th, 2017. I have a motion. Thank you. Trustee Oliniechek made that motion. Do I have a second? Seconded by Trustee Stalker. Any discussion here? Let's take that vote, please.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes.
Thank you. This brings us to 10, which is a request to approve the St. Gerald Giant Pumpkin 5K Run Walk to be held on Saturday, October 28th, 2017. I have a motion.
Motion approved.
Thank you. Trustee Oliniechek again made the motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Trustee Desmond is our second. Any discussion? We do have a representative here. Do you want to come up and let us know your name and if you live in Oaklawn and a little bit about your event?
My name is Debbie Janicki, and I'm a 40-year resident of Oaklawn. And this, we're here today to respectfully request from the mayor and the Board of Trustees that we be granted a permit for our 3rd annual St. Gerald Giant Pumpkin 5K in memory of Colette McGinnis. Our event the last couple years was a wonderful success, I think due to the fact that our entire parish supported us and walked with us. We had strollers, walkers, and wheelchairs, and lots of old folks my age and lots of little kids too. We also have been blessed the last couple of years with the support of our village. So our Holy Name Society instituted, thank you, Alex, a free breakfast. All of our runners and their families get a free pancake and sausage breakfast, and we just try to make it a really good, fun family day.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Do you have anything to add, Alex?
Nope, don't forget the carnival.
Oh, yes. Thursday starts the St. Gerald Carnival. It's Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and we hope you all come out for that, too. We hope you all come and see us take off for the 5K that day, too. Come and, Jane has been there both times, too. Come and cheer us on.
Thank you. And so this is voting on item 10, please. Let's call that vote, please.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Thank you. We'll see you there.
Excuse me, Mayor.
Yes.
Can we move these two presentations back a little bit? And these are going to take a long time.
Which numbers are you?
Number 11 and 12, the presentation by auditors and the presentation by finance director.
You want to move them to where? 11 and 12?
Let's move them to after 26.
Okay. We have a motion to move item 11 and 12 to after 26 by Trustee Desmond, seconded by Trustee Oliniechek. Any discussion? Let's take that, okay, let's take that vote.
Trustee Straight?
Yes.
Trustee Stalker?
Yes.
Trustee Oliniechek?
Yes.
Trustee Desmond?
Yes.
Trustee Phelan?
Yes.
Trustee Warder?
Yes.
Motion passes.
Okay, so we're going to bypass 11 and 12. Sorry, folks, you got to wait just a little bit. That brings us to 13. Approval of the meeting minutes for the regular meeting minutes 2017-13 dated July 11th, 2017. May I have a motion on 13?
Motion approved.
Thank you. That was Trustee Oliniechek, I think. and
Second.
Seconded by Trustee Stalker. Any discussion? Let's call that vote, please.
Trustee Straight?
Yes.
Trustee Stalker?
Yes.
Trustee Oliniechek?
Yes.
Trustee Desmond?
Yes.
Trustee Phelan?
Yes.
Trustee Warder?
Yes.
Motion passes.
14 is new business by village trustees. We'll start in District 1 with Trustee Desmond.
Thank you. I have no new business.
Thank you. District 2, Trustee Oliniechek.
I just have two quick things. St. Gerald's Carnival, August 10th, 11th, 12th, and 13th. Please come out. We hope to pay off our $2.5 million investment in our activity center with this event. We are very close to getting that done. So if we have a successful carnival, we will be able to pay off our activity center. So that'd be big. And then secondly, Steve Baird from Public Works just wanted me to remind that we're starting an American Road Maintenance Test Area. Some of the residents that have this being done on their streets, it's basically a GSB 88 asphalt road preservation product. The treatment dates are scheduled for August 14th. Residents that are going to be getting this done, the streets are 87th Place to Ridgeland Avenue to Nashville Avenue, Oak to 52nd Avenue to Raymond Avenue, Lockwood, 103rd Street to 104th, Brant, 98th Street to 99th, and Kildare, 96th to 97th. This is brought up through the Public Works. It's, if it works, it will help us get an extra 10 years out of our streets, so we're doing a beta test. Just want to let residents know their streets will not be closed for the day, but there will be some time where they won't have access, and the people in the neighborhood have been notified of it. That concludes my report.
Thank you. District 3.
Nothing new tonight.
Thank you. 4.
Yes, Mayor, I have a couple of things. Commander Art Clark from the Police Department advised me that they have completed delivery of 80 bleeding control stations to all 77 schools. This is not only in Oak Lawn, but Chicago Ridge, Hometown, Burbank, Bridgeview, Hickory Hills, Evergreen Park, Bedford Park, also Palos Hills, Justice, and Worth. Collectively, these schools serve over 35,000 students and staff during the school day, and they also serve as a community meeting center for numerous events in all of these communities. Now, this was funded by a $40,000 grant from the regional IV Health Coalition, and has made this possible on behalf of the children and citizens of every one of these communities. Please accept Art Clark's hard work in getting this grant and distributing all this.
And Sue Hecht also with Advocate Hospital and, you know, this is a really neat thing, and this is one of the wonderful things our police and fire departments have been doing very quietly. They've been working on training folks what to do in a situation of, let's say, God forbid, there's a shooter and a lot of people are bleeding, how to deal with all the bleeding. And these are kits that are tourniquets and special devices that will help in that instance. They've also done training at Village Hall with this, and it's really proactive. And Art Clark has said, Terry, that this is the only area he's aware of in the state of Illinois that has taken a measure like this for community safety. So it's something to be really proud of.
Doesn't surprise me, Mayor. We lead the charge in most everything here on the southwest side.
And let's hope not one of those are ever used.
Right, Mayor.
Let's hope
One
not.
other thing, you know, a Fall on the Green is an event coming up here in early September. And the Oak Lawn Arts Commission wanted me to promote an event called the Battle of the Bands. And this is going to happen on September 8th. That's Friday from 6 p.m. to 9:30 p.m. And that's the first night of Fall on the Green. And they're going to hold this Battle of the Bands in the parking lot just west of the Oak Lawn Library, the parking lot of the Oak Lawn Bank. It's going to be under a tent. And they're looking for bands from all over the Chicagoland area. Band members should be from the ages of 12 to 21, with half of the band members under the age of 19. Must have at least 2 people in the band, and the deadline to apply is August 21st, 17, and we're looking to get 5 or 6 good bands. I think we have 4 right now. If any band is willing to apply, there is a website to do that, and it's olacbattle@gmail.com. That's Oak Lawn Arts Commission battle@gmail.com. This is part of the Illinois Battle of the Band competition. The winner of this local event will go on to the next level of competition in 2018 with a chance to play for the best band in Illinois. That final contest is on the second Saturday of the Illinois State Fair in 2018 in Springfield. Shannon and her band and cousins are playing for that little title. Shannon is the daughter of one of our commissioners.
She is one. No, she is one of our commissioners.
Oh, she is now one of our commissioners, is correct. Okay, and her dad.
Our student.
Yeah. The event will be judged by a Grammy-nominated producer, Johnny Karkas, and Steve Mack, and Shannon Baker. We are still looking for a few more bands. Several have applied, and we are looking for a few more, so we'd love to have some local bands apply for this. The winner of the contest will also get some prize and will be asked to play on the main stage at the Oak Lawn Fall on the Green Sunday, the 10th, from 11 a.m. to noon. That's all I have, Mayor.
It's pretty awesome. District 5.
It's the work of our art commission. They really put a lot of energy and effort into making Oak Lawn an artsy community, and I'm proud of them. Again, that's all I have, Mayor.
Thank you. District 5.
Nothing at this time, thank you.
District 6.
Nothing tonight.
Okay, thank you. We're on item 15, trustee committees. This refers to the standing committees and department liaisons. May have, I don't need a motion, I'm just gonna open it up for discussion. Trustee Desmond and trustee Phelan put this on for discussion. Who wants to take the floor on this?
I'll take it.
Okay, Tom.
Yeah, as the memo to the board states, Tim and I were talking about trying to divide our various trustee groups according to expertise, longevity, and hope that we can do it evenly, and we have. I mean, we're not driven by the fact that everybody does 2 or 3, but it came out that way. We asked for input from the trustees. But again, these are proposals. They're nothing more. As the mayor and the village attorney said, between now and the next meeting, we can flesh it out. If somebody doesn't like something or likes something else, we can make a suggestion. But we wanted to get something moving. There's a couple of committees you see on there that have long since been dormant, but are still on our ordinances, causing confusion. There's some weird names. So again, these are just suggestions, nothing we need to go into a terrible amount of detail tonight, but we want to get the ball rolling.
Thank you. I appreciate your leadership on that, guys, because this is an example of the kind of work that's done behind the scenes before things come before the board. So the more we do on the committee level, the less long our meetings are, in theory. So anything you want to add, Tim?
You know, a lot of these committees, like Tom said, have been here a long time, and they, you know, some of them have become obsolete. So it's definitely time to review these.
Excellent. Thank you. Any other discussion on this?
Well, I do want to compliment on the safety committee, which is a new committee that would be coming into it. As we've been going through, and we heard our police talk about how safe our village is. We were just named in the top 100 safest in the United States. But that's something that you can never put your defenses down on. We need to continue to concentrate on that and bring new ideas to the table. So I think it's a great new committee to put that in there, and replacing the communications and technology and eliminating that, I think is a great move for us. So it should be very nice to have these committees.
Okay, any other discussion? Okay, anything else to say on that? Council will just vote on those next meeting.
So I'm clear, I have direction to implement these, is that what the board's consensus is?
Well, we may, again, there's a month, we don't meet again for another month. Maybe suggestions, somebody might say, hey, something changed, I'd rather do something else. But prior to the next meeting, we'll get something to you.
And through Larry, is that?
Yeah.
Is that okay? Yeah, just come to me through Larry, and then I'll go through the changes and make them, and I can bring it back.
That's good. Thank you. And next meeting, we'll be prepared to get all these voted on.
Great.
Okay, item 16, Village Manager's Report. Larry?
Thank you, Mayor and Board. Just one public health announcement. As the board knows, every year this time, we do test mosquitoes, work with the county and area officials for West Nile disease. And I can report to you that we use 18 test pools throughout the village geographically. And we get weekly reports. This week's report, there were 2 infected mosquitoes, no bird infections, nor any human infections. Unfortunately, on social media, some private social media outlets reported that there was a case of a human. That is false information. There are none. Thank you.
Thank you. Anything else, Larry? No?
That's all I have, Mayor.
Thank you. 17 is a request to approve the Appeals Board referral for allowing for an unequal side yard variation for the construction of a second-story and garage addition to existing residence at 4933 West 106th Place. This was a 6-0 vote to approve petition number A 2017-5. CMB Construction is the petitioner in District 6, and then we have 18, which is an ordinance granting that request. May I have a motion on 17 and 18, please?
So moved.
That was trustee Phelan, and second trustee Olenichek? Okay, thank you. Any discussion?
Yes, Mayor, one item I want to bring up, and I think it applies to a couple of different things on here, but in particular, this builder on a different home. When I came to the meeting tonight, Larry was talking to Tim about something else on here, and I stumbled upon it. And as it relates to our lot sizes, it didn't occur to me until we had a problem in the 6th District that, and the reason I knew this, the builder said, well, I built a home in a different part of Oak Lawn, and it was a different size. So whether there was confusion, but I'd asked Larry and Tim, being a builder, is there a wide variance? And apparently there is. And, you know, it's, I suspect no surprise that as you moved further south, over the years it got developed, they became smaller. But kind of going back to what we talked about with the Uber and the transformations that are taking place demographically, smaller families, I think we ought to maybe try to look at, and I don't have the number in mind, making things more uniform, so there's less, you know, a builder comes in, wants to put these beautiful homes. I saw the pictures. I mean, there's a nice old ranch-style home, replace them with 2, and has to go for a variance, and the planning commission feels it's too big. And Tim explained to me, it's because it can be 55 feet in one area, and where's as low as we go? Do we know, Tim? 50?
Well, I don't think it applies to this item on the agenda, but.
No, I mean,
yeah.
in general, not about this, but I just wanted to bring this concept up because maybe we can eliminate it by making things more uniform.
Well, I believe some parts of Oak Lawn, it's a minimum of 10,000 square feet, which is a huge lot.
Yeah.
Other parts, it's 6,500, and it does create some confusion when you have builders that have been building in one part of Oak Lawn, and then all of a sudden they move to a different part of Oak Lawn and can't get a variance for the exact same thing they've been building for years.
Right.
So it does, you know, this board has worked very hard over the last number of years to encourage new home development. So I think, you know, we should try to eliminate
Barriers.
not, well, you know, we don't want to eliminate variances, but
Barriers. My point.
yeah, I mean, the confusion that this creates.
So again, not related to this particular issue, but, you know, to the extent that those of you who have the public works background, and Larry and Tim, maybe we can make things more uniform, consistent, so we avoid these problems like we've had in the past. So I just wanted to bring that up, not related to this particular item, but thought it was a good opportunity.
Thank you.
I'd just like to comment, if I may, Mayor.
Sure.
You know, there's a lot of variance in Oak Lawn on lot sizes, and that came about over the generations as we annexed the West End. Many homes were built on 90 feet, 70 feet, and it has created problems for builders when they want to buy them and tear them down. But, you know, there is a certain sanctity in the neighborhood when the majority of the homes are on these large lots, and then, and they're big homes. And then we get a 90-foot subdivision, and we're creating 45s in neighborhoods where the majority are 60, 70-foot lots. So I don't have a problem with P&D evaluating these things based on the uniqueness of every neighborhood. Does it create a lot of obstruction for the builders to go through the process to do this?
Well, it you know, in the construction industry, time is money. You know, I mean, a month's delay could get you into winter time.
Yeah.
You know, it really would not make a big difference. It's just, it would help. I think it would help planning and development more than anybody. So that, I mean, right now their hands are tied. Really, you know, they have to make their determination with the rules that are in front of them.
Right.
And then they got to decide, well, is this, you know, it's a minimum of 55 foot here, and a block away it's a minimum of 50 foot, you know, and you got builders saying, well, I built on a 45 foot lot a block away, you know, 2 years ago. Now you know, they can't build on it in the next block. It creates confusion and possibly disillusionment.
One more comment, then we're going to take the vote.
Yeah, I believe in standardization in general, but I also agree with Terry about the sanctity of neighborhoods. If you have small homes in a neighborhood, I guess it doesn't hurt for somebody to buy 2 lots and build a big one, but it isn't necessarily a good idea to take a neighborhood that has a lot of large homes and subdivide it into 2 small. So I'd like to see the sanctity of neighborhoods and individual differences maintained if at all possible, but I don't mind standardization. Okay.
And just one clarification, and as these pictures show, we're not talking about a nice big home being knocked down and put two smaller. Generally, it's a big lot with a normal size home. And again, there could be a lot of subjectivity. Maybe it's not possible to
Right.
standardize it, but I think
It merits discussion.
it merits a little discussion.
Certainly, I agree. Okay, let's call the vote. We're voting on items 17 and 18.
Trustee Strike?
Yes.
Trustee Stalker?
Yes.
Trustee Alanichuk?
Yes.
Trustee Desmond?
Yes.
Trustee Phelan?
Yes.
Trustee Warder?
Yes.
Motion passes.
Thank you. 19 is a request to approve the Planning and Development Commission referral for a two-lot subdivision from Magnum Builders Subdivision 2 at 6723 West 91st Street. This was a 8-0 vote to approve. Sub 2017-2, Magnum Builders Incorporated is the petitioner in District 1, and 20 is an ordinance granting that request. May I have a motion on 19 and 20?
Motion.
I'm going to give that to Trustee Desmond and second by Trustee Oliniechek. Any discussion? Let's call that vote, please.
Trustee Strike?
Yes.
Trustee Stalker?
Yes.
Trustee Alanichuk?
Yes.
Trustee Desmond?
Yes.
Trustee Phelan?
Yes.
Trustee Warder?
Yes.
Motion passes.
Thank you. 21 was an appeal of an adverse decision, by the Planning and Development Commission referral. This was a 7-1 vote to deny, requesting to subdivide an existing lot into a two-lot subdivision at 6328 West 93rd Street. Woodview Builders is the petitioner, and, yes, that's it. So 21, may I have a motion on 21?
Motion to approve.
Thank you. Trustee
Second.
Desmond made that motion, seconded by Trustee Oliniechek. Any discussion? Let's call that vote, please.
So by voting,
By voting, they're appealing the adverse decision, so I believe by voting yes, you would approve the project, correct?
Request to subdivide.
To be clear, I think the action you're about to take is to reverse the decision of the planning board and overrule them, if you will. Right?
so the vote yes is the vote to approve subdivision.
To allow.
Yes.
Okay, well, I vote yes.
Okay, thank you.
Trustee
sorry.
Strike?
Yes.
All right. Trustee Stalker, you're coming, Tim.
Yes.
Trustee Alanichuk?
Yes.
Trustee Desmond?
Yes.
Trustee Phelan?
Yes.
Trustee Warder?
Yes.
Motion passes 6-0.
Thank you. And the petitioner is here. I can see you waving your hand, so,
Place.
okay. Okay, we're modifying then,
That is
correcting that to 93rd Place.
it's in the
It's in
agenda.
the,
Properly recorded in the.
Okay.
On the legal document, it's correct, but on our agenda, it doesn't, yeah. Okay, so, okay, very good. So the board has did not agree with planning and development, and your petition is approved. Okay. Okay, 22. Let me find my spot here. A request to approve the Planning and Development Commission referral for a special use variance to install,
right? Oh, no.
nope, to install a monument sign in an R1 zoning district at 10621 Kedvale Avenue. This was a 7-1 vote to approve. Petition number 2017-12. St. Catherine Parish is the petitioner in District 6. May I have a motion? And then we have an ordinance granting that request with 23. May I have a motion on 22 and 23?
Motion to approve?
Thank you. Trustee Oliniechek made that motion,
Second?
seconded by Trustee Desmond. Any discussion? Let's call that vote, please.
Trustee Strike?
Yes.
Trustee Stalker?
Yes.
Trustee Alanichuk?
Yes.
Trustee Desmond?
Yes.
Trustee Phelan?
Yes.
Trustee Warder?
Yes.
Motion passes 6-0.
Thank you. 24 is a request to approve the Planning and Development Commission referral for the addition of an Article D to Title 4, Chapter 5, regarding townhomes. This was a 7-1 vote to approve petition 2017-11. And then an ordinance granting that request is item 25. May I have a motion on 24 and 25?
Motion to approve?
Thank you. Trustee Oliniechek made that motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Trustee Phelan. Any discussion on these items? Let's call that vote.
Trustee Strike?
No.
Trustee Stalker?
Yes.
Trustee Alanichuk?
Yes.
Trustee Desmond?
Yes.
Trustee Phelan?
Yes.
Trustee Warder?
Yes.
Motion passes 5-1.
26 is Resolution 171452, a resolution approving a business development agreement between the Village of Oak Lawn and Insipi LLC, doing business as Hawk Ford of Oak Lawn LLC. May I have a motion, please, on 26?
Motion to approve.
Thank you. Trustee Oliniechek made that motion.
Second.
Seconded by Trustee Stalker. Any discussion here? Let's call that vote, please.
Trustee Strike?
Yes.
Trustee Stalker?
Yes.
Trustee Oliniechek?
Yes.
Trustee Desmond?
Yes.
Trustee Phelan?
Yes.
Trustee Border?
Yes.
Motion passes.
Thank you very much. And now we're going to move up to item 11. So let me get back to there.
Mayor, if I could, just to give recognition, because he did travel to come to our meeting tonight, give recognition to the owner of Hawk Ford, Mr. John Crane, who's with us tonight.
Thank you for being here, sir. Do you want to come to the podium and say that? So a lot of people watch at home, and they won't be able to hear you if you speak from there. They do, and you'll be on YouTube, too.
Great. Yeah, I probably should have combed my hair a little better. I'm John Crane, owner of Hawk Ford. Just wanted to thank the board for supporting our expansion, our building projects. We've been able to increase our ability to service customers, and thankfully, as the numbers bear out, we've increased our business and significantly over the past few years. Spent in the past 10 years, spent over $15 million advertising to bring people to Oak Lawn to buy their cars here, and our business is up because the climate is good here, and also very proud that we've added over 40 full-time jobs that people employed through Hawk Ford since we took over 10 years ago.
Very nice.
I just wanted to tell the board too, Larry, that since John's owned Hawk Ford, they've provided almost $5 million of sales tax money, and they put another 2.5 into his dealership. So I think it's a credit to John, and it's a credit to all, that we were able to get a deal done.
Thank you. Larry?
Mayor, if I could, I want to thank you, and specifically the Oliniechek and the board, for being supportive of this economic development partnership, and also report to the board that Mr. Crane has met with us on other occasions, the mayor and myself, and we discussed the overall health of the community, the future development of the community, and I'm very happy to say that he has a vision for Hawk Ford, and that vision includes the Village of Oak Lawn. I'd like to thank you, Mr. Crane, for that.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Any other discussion? Okay, thanks for coming out. Thank you. So this brings us back to item 11. I'm sorry for the wait.
Problem.
This is a presentation by auditors for the 2016 Comprehensive and Financial Report. Take the floor, sir. Can you introduce yourself and let us know if you live in Oak Lawn?
Good evening. Thank you, Mayor, and thank you, trustees. My name is John George, an audit partner with RSM. With me tonight is Katie Berry. We are not residents of the Village of Oak Lawn.
Thank you.
But Katie Berry is a senior manager with the firm. We're here to present the results of the 2016 Comprehensive Annual Financial Report. We'll talk a little bit about the audit timeline and process. Katie will cover some financial highlights and some of the deliverables, and as we're going through, obviously, please feel free to hop in with any questions you have on any of the topics. In addition to Katie and myself, we had other members of the team, Jeff Slade, Robert Hurd, and Taylor Mitchell. So that group encompassed our audit team. The audit process itself started back in November, early, late fall of 16. We're meeting with management and planning the audit for 2016. We performed preliminary field work during the week of March 20th, and during preliminary field work is where we really get our arms around internal controls. We look at major transaction cycles. We're focused around payroll, accounts payable, your revenue cycles, and your receipts. Performing test controls, understanding how they operate, and then testing and making sure they're operating as they've been designed. We also set our plan and risk assessments during preliminary field work, and then our final field work starts in April and goes all the way through mid-May. So it's about a month worth of time that we're here. We receive trial balance and financial information from management, perform tests around those balances, confirmation, substantive support for the information that's provided in order to allow us to issue our opinion. We did issue the report this year, June 29th, which is earlier than we have in the past, so That's kudos to management and the work that your team did in preparing for the audit. Katie will cover some of the financial highlights and then some of the other deliverables, and you'll see some of the other points that were positive results from the audit. Sure.
Thank you, John. All right, so I'm going to go over the comprehensive annual report. That's the larger document that you have in front of you. So the village issues a CAFR, so there's a lot of information packed into this 185 pages. It's worth noting that the first 2 pages are the only pages from RSM, that's our financial statement opinion, and we issued an unmodified opinion, good, clean opinion. As far as notable items to point out, it's worth mentioning the general fund. That's the chief operating fund of the village. So if you wanted to follow along, that's on page 27 of the financial report. So just a couple things to point out here. So total revenues as of December 31st, 2016 were $51.6 million. That's about $2 million less than last year. A part of the decrease was a decrease in property taxes of about $500,000. All in, it's about $500,000 under budget. So even though revenues decreased, it was somewhat in line with how the village budgeted for revenues in 16. Expenditures were $53.6 million in 2016, and that was consistent with what the expenditures were last year. So even though revenues decreased, the village did a good job of maintaining expenses. So when you take the excess of expenditures over the revenue, it comes to a $2 million deficit, and then you factor in other transfers or other activities incurred in the general fund, and overall it was a decrease in the general fund of about $1 million from last year. So when you take a look at the fund balance, the ending fund balance at the bottom of page 27 for the general fund was $9.5 million. And one thing to kind of break that $9.5 million, if you look at the bottom of page 25, in the first column, it breaks that $9.5 million into an unassigned. So that's money that's available to the village to spend on general fund operations. And then the other portion is non-spendable. So money that's tied up in like prepaid items or advances, things that really isn't tangible. Outside the, anything to mention on general fund?
Yeah, I guess, so overall revenues by a couple $1 million, and you maintained your expenditure levels, like Katie said. The crucial point is we're still operating, we have an operating loss, right? So, you know, from a financial stability standpoint, we want to make sure we're maintaining those fund balances. We're going to talk a little bit about pension funding and your funding policy and the importance of that. So it's maintaining that balance and budgetary control in order to make sure you maintain that fiscal sustainable fund balances and improve your fund balances. So good job maintaining, you know, based on budget. And if you look at budget on the expenditure side, you're $500,000 over budget, and primarily that came through in your fire department. All the other departments were pretty flat, but good job maintaining that. But you're dealing with a $2 million shortfall too. So.
Okay, so as far as other notable items outside the general fund, so one of the big numbers on your financial statements are the pension liabilities. So as of December 31, 2016, in total, the village has 3 pension funds: IMRF, the pension, and the fire pension. And there is a $150 million net pension liability, and that's comprised of $10.6 million of IMRF, $73.3 million of police pension liability, and $67.9 million of the fire net pension liability. So there's a lot of disclosures around the pension liability. GASB 68 was something that was implemented recently, so it added about 20 years worth of disclosures to the financial statements last year. One thing that I think is helpful to the users of the financial statements, so one of the things prescribed by GASB 68 is required supplementary information. So that is on pages 91, 92, and 93. So each pension, it breaks down the components of that pension for you. It shows the total pension liability, the fiduciary net position, and eventually that will be a rolling 10-year worth of information. Another thing that I think is really useful to point out for the pensions is the sensitivity analysis. So these net pension liabilities are derived from actuarial valuations, so there's a lot of effort that goes to this calculation based on the actuarial methods that are used and the underlying assumptions that come into this pension liability. What the sensitivity analysis does is one of the things the actuary does is they look at the current contributions. So the contributions that are going into the plan and the benefit payments that are gonna come out of the pension plan. And they extend this analysis out up to 100 years. So with this, what the sensitivity analysis does, it kind of looks at the solvency of the monies that are going into the pension plans. And it's worth pointing out the funding policy that the board put into place a couple years ago to increase that funding of pensions dramatically reduced the net pension liability.
So it basically is telling the actuary that you've got a planned funding contributions going in to that solvency test that Katie mentioned. Your contributions are going to be maintained at a certain level to allow for funding of the plan and therefore a higher discount rate. I mean, so there's not the discount rate is more in line with return on investments versus a bond rate. So that is a significant reduction in the pension liability. But the key point is you have to hit that funding policy. You have to budget for it. And you have to attain
It didn't reduce our pension liability. It reduces our pension liability shortfall, right?
It reduces the net pension. It reduces the pension liability that's calculated. Yes, it reduces the pension liability and therefore
Pension liability didn't change because we decided to pay more into it. The liability shortfall changed.
the funding of it.
Okay,
Yeah.
but it's a pension liability shortfall. We didn't change our pension rules.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct. The liability the liability is the liability. The net pension liability is what's been reduced.
Got it.
Because
It changed
the
how,
fund level.
right, it changed how it was calculated. The board took a lot of courage in putting forth the funding policy a couple of years ago, and all under the accounting rules, because the board committed to increased commitment to funding pensions, the measure was done at a higher interest rate as opposed to a bond rate. And again, Tom knows this from net present value. Anyone could tell you that the higher interest rate you use, the lower the liability is. So that's all it said. It allowed us to use the discount rate that we had in our two pension funds of 7% as opposed to 4%. And that's all reflected on those pages that Katie just cited.
What's the current assumption by the actuarial on return on the portfolio?
So for the police pension, it's 7%. That's the investment rate of return. That's on page 68. And then the fire pension, I believe, is 7.5%, or it's 7% as well.
And this is the scary part. I mean, that is so unrealistic because what's the requirement? I think we can only have 30% in equities.
Well, but Tom, you're right, maybe looking forward, but when you go back, I went back with our actuary and looked at back to 1988, and we're around 7.25% for both fire and police, if you look historically.
Well,
And I'm not,
historically, because we're looking at bond returns right now that you can't find any and in fact, that bond market likely is going to take a hit now.
probably gonna be a bear bond market.
So, again, to this board's credit, prior to my being here, you really did a good thing, but I mean, this is what's going to kill municipalities. It is truly killing municipalities. It's unsustainable, and
Well, we have some things we need to discuss very seriously with the board on how we deal with this liability, because I know the board adopted the funding policy a couple of years ago, but you're exactly right. We've seen a lot more.
One point, Brian, when we have to keep 70% of the money or thereabouts in something earning,
Right.
not a lot.
Actually,
likely
65. It's 65, 35. Right.
Look at 10, 20, 30. I mean, hopefully they do a 100-year bond. I mean, that would help tremendously for governments like they did in Ireland and some other places. But as it stands now, when 65% of money has to stay in things that aren't paying what they have in the past and likely will take a hit.
Well, one of the things they should be willing to do, when you have a professionally managed fund like we have, when you have quarterly meetings and you're a larger pension fund, they should, the lobbyists all ought to agree that we shouldn't be constrained by that.
I
But
agree.
there's certain things on pension reform you should be able to get done, but I'm not sure what they can get done in Springfield, but in
So
any
one
event.
thing to emphasize your point, so one of the required disclosures under GASB 68 is it does show what the liability lower discount rate. So for example, with the police pension fund, if you have 6% discount rate instead of 7, the pension liability would go from 73.3 million up to 93.6 million.
1%. 1% change, 20 million.
And you're right, what we should be looking at is lowering the 7% discount rate over time to a lower interest rate to 6. And Wilmette, what they do is they lower it by 10 basis points every year. The problem is, we're having enough trouble just trying to meet our,
I mean, there's no magic answer. I mean, it's,
Right.
But we need to be mindful
It's
of it.
continued focus. You're gonna have to look at it every year. You're gonna have to continue to do what you're doing from a funding policy and from an investment return policy and manage it. It's like you said, all municipalities have to face and deal with it.
So the other thing that I wanted to mention with the financial reports is just the upcoming standards that are coming down. So similar to what we have for the pensions in the 2018 calendar year, you're going to implement similar standards for the other post-employment benefits, which is your medical benefits. So that will be another actuarial accrued liability coming onto the books in 2018 as well.
We're currently recording the annual required contribution compared to what you're actually paying as you go, and that difference is a liability and accumulates. We're not recording the total liability. That this standard is going to book the total liability.
So those were the most notable items I wanted to point out in the CAFR. Just pause real quick to see if anybody has any questions before I go through the other required deliverables. Okay, so then the last pieces that we wanted to cover is the TIF. So the village has 6 TIF districts, and we test the expenditures for compliance to make sure that how the money is spent in the TIFs is in compliance with state statutes. So we did not identify any compliance findings with the testing that we did over the TIFs. The other report we issued is the single audit report. So when a village spends more than $750,000 federal funds, they're required to have a single audit under the Uniform Grant Guidance. So under that, we tested 2 major programs. We tested the IEPA funds that you use for the water infrastructure, and we also tested the equitable sharing funds. We did not have any compliance findings during that testing. We did have one immaterial compliance finding that was reported and was already addressed by management. Outside the single audit report and the TIF report, we have our required communications to the board. So that is also a separate report that you have. So this includes if there was any disagreements with management or if we were aware of any consultations with other accountants, which there were none. It also includes the significant estimates that are included in the financial statement, so the police, the pension liabilities and the other post-employment benefit liabilities, and it also includes our letter communicating any significant deficiencies or material weaknesses, which we had 2, which was an improvement from last year. There was 5, so we have 2 repeating that the village is working on this year on correcting. So that
So overall, I mean, again, I think positive results from an audit perspective. You have less number of journal entries, less internal control points. Compliance findings were less. The report was issued sooner. So the process and information flow is improving. And again, back to the funding policy, I think to the point of the board, I mean, you're doing the right things. You got to monitor that and focus on financial stability and financial improvement, and that's how you do it. So it's been a good process. We appreciate all the help that we received during the process from management. It's a 6-month time frame that we're in this, and they're very responsive and appreciate that.
Well, one other thing on the single audit, we had some issues with the Department of Justice, primarily how the police investigations and confiscations funds could be used. Some of it was interpretation. That's been cleaned up with the help of RSM and Adam Metz, who at the time was with RSM, and now Adam's been hired as our budget director to replace Joanne. So for the first time, I think we have a single audit report where there aren't any issues with any of the government agency, federal government agencies.
One question I had, and it may be immaterial to you guys, but Brian and I had talked, and Larry as well, about vehicle stickers. And Brian's done some preliminary analysis. It's the bane of the existence of the people who work here. You talk to the employees, they say no surprise, people are never happy. They get all they get is negativity. I think Janet Ganopoulos, she almost quit a couple of times because all they get is people who are unhappy, waiting in lines, wrapping the building across the street. So that coupled with the idea and the concept we've been talking about with the millennials and the Uber and shared rides and less car purchases. We've talked about eliminating vehicle stickers. Now, again, when we talked about conceptually, Danny, I know you were talking online about the people that don't get them, and I did read an exchange between people, and there was just as many people saying, stop complaining about those of us who aren't getting them, we're taking our chances. So from a revenue standpoint, we have the cost of monitoring, buying, the police patrolling, we eliminate all that, the headaches. From an auditing standpoint, is that a major issue as far as you guys are concerned? Or do you get one set of numbers, there's our vehicle stickers, I mean, would it,
We don't, it's vehicle stickers just
not an issue, okay.
from a risk standpoint.
We'll have a plan in the first budget meeting.
No, I just thought maybe, that would
And what we're
take
doing
5
with
pages of our
vehicle
budget, you know? All right.
Believe me, no one wants them.
Wishful thinking.
No one wants them less than me.
Could have been a win-win-win.
No such luck. Okay, what else?
Any other questions for us? That's all we had to report, but any other questions? Thank you for your
Command
time.
of the issue is very impressive.
Thank you. Any
Shouldn't have kicked him back, Tim.
Okay, I don't need a motion to accept that report or anything like that, do I?
I think you should have a motion to accept the
Okay.
report.
Okay, trustee Oliniechek made a motion to accept this report. May I have a second?
Second.
Thank you. That was trustee Stalker. Any discussion? Call that vote, please.
Trustee Straight?
Yes.
Trustee Stalker?
Yes.
Trustee Oliniechek?
Yes.
Trustee Desmond?
Yes.
Trustee Phelan?
Yes.
Trustee Vorder?
Yes.
Motion passes.
Thank you. Item 12 is a presentation by our finance directory, the 2017 mid-year report.
Okay.
Brian?
I won't take a lot of time, but it's furthering the same issue, the audit report. Our revenues through the first 6 months were down about 2.5 million, and our expenses were down against the budget by 1.4 million. The revenues that we were off are primarily related, and Larry and I have talked about it, the pending agreement with the hospital. We've had some things like rebates and things that we've lost. But I think from an expense standpoint, the exception of fire overtime, which has been an ongoing issue, every department has been under their budget. So again, on the expenditure side, I think the village is adjusting, particularly on water and sewer, which is kind of self-adjusting because, as you know, we've all known we've had a wet spring, so that kind of self-adjusts. So from an expense standpoint, everything is terrifically positive, but I'm concerned. I've talked to Tom about it several times. Our sales tax is down about 300,000 against what we budgeted, and we had reasons for why we budgeted that. Had primarily to do with 111th Street. We're only about 80,000 behind last year, but we're still behind last year's number. So sales tax, it's just, you know, everyone should realize that our expenses are dictated by our revenue, right, wrong, or otherwise. So when we're down 2.5 million, we've got to find either a way to adjust expenses. I'm saying some things that are fairly obvious, but and 70% of our expenses are people. And I know positions and layoffs are not things what people want to talk about, but those are going to be some of the things we're going to bring up with the board at the first budget meeting. Not that those are the only solutions. We have others, but I just want to prepare everyone for that because, as John mentioned in the audit report, we were down. We still had a loss of $1 million, okay? And that is after the board has done several things. We've increased sales tax, the home rule sales tax. The board increased the utility tax to provide funding for streets. All of these things are very positive. I'm just saying when you look at the general fund from where we were in 2015, which was break even, our general fund was down $1 million, and through the first 6 months of this year, we're down a similar number, about another $1 million. So it's going to be a challenging couple of years as we try to get our debt down to deal with the pension obligations.
It's a great time to invite everyone to shop Oak Lawn whenever you can, because a lot of people find it very convenient to go online and order something, but those online places don't hire your kids, you know, for jobs. They don't, you know, pay your taxes. They don't do anything for the community. And if every resident would consider if they could buy a product in Oak Lawn to shop in Oak Lawn, those numbers would go different direction, you know, and we're all guilty of it. Convenience means so much, but we do want to keep a vibrant community and keep our businesses strong.
Mayor?
Yes.
Brian, can we identify where those sales tax losses are occurring? Are they occurring in retail? Are they occurring in auto sales primarily, or is it across the board?
It's tough to, what I sent in the board package, Terry, is a kind of a month by month, so you can see when the declines are occurring, when we get some positive reaction. But to look at them by category, the IDOR only does that at the end of every year, from what I've been able to get. So we try to show that in the CAFR. There's a schedule in the back that shows the particular industry and what was up and what was down. So you can see it in there. What page number it is, but 172. So it's just challenging to find, because they don't compile. Everyone files these ST1s every month, Terry, and the state of Illinois, we get our money about 90 days after they actually do their filing. So I'm just happy to get it on an annual basis. But generally speaking, we're finding it general merchandise. So stores like Target, like Kmart, across, because we've lost some of those stores. So our auto dealers have been able to hold their own. But remember, auto dealers don't pay home rule because titled goods are not subject to home rule. So that incremental, that increase that we did in 2012, that really didn't apply to our car dealer.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Any questions for Brian? Anything else you got to say, Brian?
Great job, Brian.
It's going to be a tough budget, and with the uncertainty with the state kind of looking to raid any money they can, it's very frightening. And you're right. Our services are, what we do as people, and that's our biggest expense. So, okay, we're going to move on to 27 then. Okay, so back to the other page of the agenda. 27 is Resolution 17. Thank you, guys. 27 is Resolution 171453, a resolution relating to participation by elected officials in the IMRF, which is the Illinois Municipal Retirement Fund. This pertains to trustees. May I have a motion on 27? And I'm going to ask council, a vote on this means what? So there's, each of these is kind of.
Maybe I want to share something that I have from the general counsel from
Okay.
IMRF, which may
Thank you.
help everybody understand. So we asked them 4 questions, and I'll go one by one, and this may help clear up some things. So the resolution would allow current elected officials in Oak Lawn who are grandfathered under the 600-hour threshold to continue to participate in the IMRF. That was our question to the general counsel. His response was, this is correct. The resolution will allow current elected officials to continue covered under the 600-hour standard. So that's question number 1. Question number 2 that we asked, based on the IMRF resolution passed by the Oak Lawn Board in 2013, no trustee first elected in 2013 or thereafter will qualify under IMRF even if they claim they work 600 hours. Answer from the IMRF, the resolution adopted in 2013 does prevent newly elected officials from IMRF participation. However, it may not be able to ban future elected officials from participating. Currently, the pension code allows coverage for elected positions that certify 1,000 hours or more. Question number 3. The village clerk position, which is a full-time position, continue to participate in the IMRF, and no other resolution is needed to certify the clerk's participation at this time. Answer. The IMRF still requires Form 60.6.64 to reaffirm the resolution that was adopted for the village clerk position effective March 11, 2008 for the 1,000-hour standard. I understand she is covered under the 600 standard for coverage and that the resolution needs to be updated reflecting the most recent resolution from 2008. That's the answer on that question. The final question we asked them was, if the village board does not approve this ordinance, those grandfathered trustees will no longer participate in the IMRF. Answer, that is also correct. If there is no action, then the elected positions will be removed from IMRF coverage.
So it's pretty confusing. So we have several agenda items. So the first one the one we're discussing now, item 27, specifically, can you look at the code sheet at the bottom, the staff comments, it said a vote yes means this. Can you, recommendation?
Dan, if you have anything to add in here, do you have?
You covered it pretty good. It's in tier 1 and tier 2.
Right.
Tier 1 is the 600-hour trustees, and that's what you're voting.
Okay, so,
You already voted on the tier 2 employees, 1,000-hour. That's already done, you don't need to worry about that. It's just the 600-hour, there's 3 trustees that would be effective. Yes, you continue, or no, you don't.
isn't that the next item?
If we don't take any action,
The next item is clerk's position.
Oh, okay.
What goes away?
No, there are, no.
Wait, one at a time.
It's Trustees.
The trustees keep whatever you have, it's just going forward, there will be no further contributions.
Okay. You're talking now about 600 hours has already been taken away from current and future trustees.
No, the 1,000 hours already.
1,000 hours what?
1,000 hour to tier 2, that's already been voted on back in 2000.
I understand. Now we're voting on the 600.
For 27.
Okay, so what I said was, we're voting to, from here forward, to take pensions away from trustees who get at least 600 hours of service during the year.
You're not taking the pension away, you're just taking the contributions away.
Taking a contribution, which means you don't get a pension.
Paid in.
Freeze them. We would freeze
Well,
them.
wait, you're not, okay, the net effect is, you're taking the contributions away, which means you don't get a pension.
No.
based on your previous service.
Based on,
Moving forward, you don't have new contributions, but what you've paid in,
okay, so it would be frozen at the level that it is now? Is that what is being said?
Correct.
Okay,
yeah,
It's frozen, it's right.
okay.
Which would
yeah.
equalize the entire board.
So, just to clarify, the recommendation, if the majority of the board votes yes to continue, the majority of the Board of Trustees need to vote yes to continue participation. If the vote is no, then the resolution terminating participation needs to be voted on. So that's item 28, is that correct?
Okay, read that sentence again, and I want to add questions as you go,
Sure,
please.
it's confusing. So we're on item 27. The majority of the Board of Trustees needs to vote yes to continue participation. If we take
For
no action,
who?
this is
The
trustees.
previously approved or current trustees that are not on the bench? Previous.
This is all trustees, my understanding.
I don't know, I want an answer.
Well,
As I understand it, today, 3 trustees get a pension, 3 do not. Who are we talking about?
It's trustees, Olenicek, trustee Strike, and trustee Finn.
Okay,
The 3 that are defined benefits.
okay. Based on the fact that it was a defined benefit.
So,
The fact that they participated in the past, they were grandfathered in, and they've been in the whole time.
Okay, it's a defined benefit.
so voting
How can we
yes.
take it away?
So,
Freezing it at today's.
Oh, we would not,
You're not
we would
taking-
freeze it at current levels?
You're right, it stays, they keep everything they have, they would still get a pension when they retire based on today.
Basically, what they're asking for you to say about is that pass this resolution so we know these people that are collecting the pension work the 600 hours so they continue to collect. If you don't want them to continue to collect and you don't think they're working 600 hours in their job, then you vote no, and then we vote to terminate them.
So it begs an obvious question, I think.
And this was a state law that was put in after 2013.
That was my question.
That's why-
Why didn't we do it in
that's why we're-
13?
that's what-
This falls under the Illinois Pension Fund law.
Right, you're basically saying, yes, they're doing.
So in
600 hours.
2013, legally, you couldn't do what you're talking about doing now.
We didn't have to, wasn't required to take this step.
Got it.
That's why we're doing it now. Now, the state law says every 2 years.
Correct, every 2
So
years.
this,
will be ongoing.
every 2 years.
This will
There's no catch-all once it's done.
This will keep coming up every 2 years.
If this is gonna happen, why can't we be sure of what we're voting on? I don't wanna vote on something and then find out it's exactly opposite of what I thought.
Madam Mayor,
Which it already is.
Madam Mayor, can I just add on there?
sure.
Basically, Bud, it's saying that we are not going to get a pension from this point moving forward. We're frozen at what we have.
It's a qualification, a certification. Now, we all know that we do work more than those hours, but because the IMRF has come out and said that you have to have a law to be certified for that, it's a loophole, and it's an ability for us to be able to get out of it. And I don't disagree with it.
See, that's a different interpretation that I've had previously, and I'm not prepared to vote on this.
Okay, what do you feel is different?
I thought that any trustee who has a pension today had a defined benefit, and it goes on forever.
We do get the defined benefit of what we've contributed. As of today.
Okay.
But it will be frozen as of today.
Won't grow.
It won't grow.
And they're still here next year, they're not gonna get a 15th year.
Okay,
They're not paying
so,
for the 15-year.
excuse my asking, but what's your opinion of how we should go on this?
I'm gonna be voting no.
Okay?
So voting no will be.
You'll continue to contribute?
No,
Okay.
It means I'm frozen.
voting yes means you continue. Voting no means.
Got it.
You
Now
stop
I
it moving
understand
forward.
that part.
Okay, so Bud, when this whole thing came out, when we first tried to get out of the pension, since discussion's coming up, IMRF said basically, you're in it, you can't do anything to get out of it. We had legal opinion to try to do everything we could. Once you were in it, it was a defined benefit by ordinance. When we passed the ordinance in 2013, eliminating that, anybody that had that previously defined benefit was still in it. We could do nothing to get out of it. We had legal and staff looking into everything that we possibly could. Now they're saying you have to certify every 2 years on the amount of hours that you're working. Because other trustees have said, we shouldn't have to have something that we're mandated to be in. So truly, this is an opportunity for us to finally be able to get out of it, which I've been trying to do since 2013. That's my opinion.
And just so people are clear in the audience or watching from home, we're not talking about pensions as most people understand them. I don't even know what my benefit is. It's so nominal. I think $111 or I don't even know, but.
That's minor.
Yeah, it's minor, but it's the principle, it's also the possibility of, getting a government job and you can stack all of your years of service as a part-time trustee. So it's what we've talked about with the auditors. It's what's killing this
Right.
country, these games that people play. So it's a good, it's confusing. I'm with Bud on this. I frankly don't know what I'm voting on or why, but now I understand that we have to do it. There's no other way, and we're gonna have to do it.
Well, that's not true. If we do no action on it, then it automatically dies and we're out of it.
If you do,
So let's say we table it.
That's the part that's confusing.
the
Why do
time
we have to
for
do
the
anything?
Board meeting, but because you should vote, you should have control of it.
I understand
But if we
better
do
now.
nothing,
So,
September.
I am willing to vote.
It goes away September 1st.
Please explain one more time what a yes vote means and what a no
so
vote.
on number 27, which we're discussing,
Okay,
if you vote yes, we continue as we have been.
okay?
If we vote no, then we stop it moving forward.
We stop contributions moving forward.
We do not
Got
take
it.
away what was paid in.
Understood.
We do not go backwards, but moving forward. So
Got it.
again, on item 27, this is where we're at. So yes continues as we have been, no stops it. If we table this, IMRF presumes it's a no and it's stopped. So,
I make a motion to vote on this.
okay.
Motion to vote.
Is there?
So-
Oh, I don't think it was.
No.
one. There wasn't.
I think,
No, we didn't.
I second that.
Then I second.
Okay.
okay. So the motion is by trustee Vorderer to.
Cast a vote on this
to
issue.
vote, again, yes or no, and seconded by
Hurry up
trustee
before we forget what
Oliniechek.
it means.
One more time. So yes means status quo. We keep doing what we're doing. No, and this only applies to trustees on this vote.
Got it.
No means that we are stopping it moving forward. Let's call that vote unless anyone has further questions before we vote. Or comments. Okay, let's call the vote.
Trustee Strike.
Yes.
Trustee Stalker.
No.
Trustee Oliniechek.
No.
Trustee Desmond.
No.
Trustee Phelan.
No.
Trustee Vorder.
No.
Motion failed. 5-1.
Okay.
Now that we have the
To
no vote.
continue.
So if since we voted no, we also have to do item 28. This resolution only needs to be voted on if the board votes no on the resolution to continue IMRF participation. So item 28 is Resolution 171454, a resolution relating to termination of participation by elected officials in the IMRF. So this is just further validation that we are stopping that. Is that correct?
Correct.
Yes.
Okay, so a vote yes means you do want to stop it,
Got it.
It's reaffirming what you just did in a separate.
and a vote
resolution.
no means you want to continue.
So we can send it.
It's the opposite.
That's right.
Sounds like a lawyer.
Okay, so good.
Motion to approve.
Second.
A motion by trustee Oliniechek and a second by trustee Vorder. Again, yes means we're stopping, no means we don't want to stop. Let's call that vote.
Trustee Streit.
No.
Trustee Stalker.
Yes.
Trustee Oliniechek.
Yes.
Trustee Desmond.
Yes.
Trustee Phelan.
Yes.
Trustee Vorter.
Yes.
So, motion passes 5-1 to stop contributions.
Thank you. And now we're on 29, which is Resolution 171455, a resolution relating to the participation by elected officials in the IMRF, Illinois Municipal Retirement Fund for Village Clerk. And
Correct.
may I see that, please?
Yes.
So for our full-time clerk to continue to participate and collect a pension, we need to vote yes.
Motion to approve.
Thank you. Trustee Oliniechek made that motion. Trustee Vorder is our second. Any discussion?
I'd like to add on this.
Sorry.
Okay,
A question more than discussion.
sure.
So Jane obviously is a different
Correct,
species because she literally works here.
right.
40. So why would this, again, be necessary?
Because she's an elected.
Because she's
Right,
elected.
exactly. It's elected official.
And Tom, that was the whole problem when we tried to get out of it.
Yeah.
If you went for elected officials, all elected officials were put together. So now it's saying Jane is a full-time elected official, we're part-time elected. So it's truly giving the benefit to the full-time position, which we all would agree, if that's our livelihood, that's where you'd want to make sure somebody was getting their pension. So it's an agreeable thing. But going back through the history of this, at one point, if we made a motion back when we were looking to get out of it, to get out of the IMRF, it would have taken everybody that was retired in the IMRF that served on the village board in the past. They would have had to have given up that, and that was one of the stumbling blocks to do it. And the other stumbling block was taking a person who's in a full-time position, like the clerk, who does a great job for us, and taking her out of the pension. Which now I'm glad that we have this ability to be able to rightfully give the pension to a full-time employee.
Okay, so voting yes continues participation in the pension for our village clerk, who is a full-time position. Okay, any other discussion? Let's call that vote, please.
Trustee Streit.
Yes.
Trustee Stalker.
Yes.
Trustee Oliniechek.
Yes.
Trustee Desmond.
Yes.
Trustee Phelan.
Yes.
Trustee Vorter.
Yes.
Motion passes 6-0.
Thank you. I just want to make a sideline comment. I just want to thank the majority of this board for realizing that we as part-time politicians must get our financial house in order for our full-time employees before we even consider a pension for ourselves. I think that's so important. I really, really appreciate your leadership and your vision for that. I think if the world thought more like that, we'd be in a much better place across the board. Okay, so 30, request to hire 2 firefighter paramedics due to retirements and subsequent promotions in the Oak Lawn Fire Department. May I have a motion on 30,
Motion
please?
to approve.
Second.
Thank you. Trustee Stalker made the motion, seconded by trustee Oliniechek, I think. Was that you?
Yes.
Thank you. Any discussion? Let's call that vote, please.
Trustee Streit.
Yes.
Trustee Stalker.
Yes.
Trustee Oliniechek.
Yes.
Trustee Desmond.
Yes.
Trustee Phelan.
Yes.
Trustee Vorter.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Thank you. 31 is a request to approve 7 Oak Lawn Fire Department personnel promotions due to retirements, effective on August 16th, 2017, September 1st, 2017, and September 16th, 2017.
Motion to approve.
Thank
Second.
you. Motion by trustee Stalker, seconded by trustee Oliniechek. Any discussion? Let's take that vote, please.
Trustee Streit.
Yes.
Trustee Stalker.
Yes.
Trustee Oliniechek.
Yes.
Trustee Desmond.
Yes.
Trustee Phelan.
Yes.
Trustee Vorter.
Yes.
Motion passes.
22, village clerk's report.
Approval of semi-monthly disbursements, number 2017-14B, dated July 25th, 2017, in the amount of $1,852,763.49.
Thank you. May I have a motion?
Motion to pay the bills.
22A. Thank you. Trustee Oliniechek made that motion.
Second.
Seconded by trustee Warder. Any discussion? Let's take that vote, please.
Trustee Streit?
Yes.
Trustee Stalker?
Yes.
Trustee Oliniechek?
Yes.
Trustee Desmond?
Yes.
Trustee Phelan?
Yes.
Trustee Warder?
Yes.
Motion passes.
Thank you. And B?
Approval of semi-monthly disbursements, number 2017-15D, dated August 8th, 2017, in the amount of $6,447,765.96.
Motion to pay the bills.
Thank you. Made by trustee Oliniechek. Second by
I'll second.
trustee Warder. Any discussion? Let's take that vote, please.
Trustee Streit?
Yes.
Trustee Stalker?
Yes.
Trustee Oliniechek?
Yes.
Trustee Desmond?
Yes.
Trustee Phelan?
Yes.
Trustee Warder?
Yes.
Motion passes. One more thing, Mayor. Just want to remind everybody that St. Catherine of Alexandria's Charge On 5K Run will be held on Saturday, August 19th, beginning at 8 a.m. at Lawn Manor Park. And following that is the parish picnic at Lawn Manor also. So please come out that day.
Thank you. Anything else? That's it? Okay. 38, Village President's Report. 38A is a request to approve the local liquor advisory board referral for a Class N like Nancy liquor license for an outdoor service area for Premier Fire and Grill. It was a 3-0 vote to approve in District 1, and then an ordinance granting that request. Oh, no, that needs to be separate, sorry. 33A, may I have a motion, please?
A motion to approve.
Thank you. Trustee Desmond made that motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Thank you, trustee Stalker. Any discussion?
Yes, Mayor.
Yes, sir.
Can you explain what the Class N liquor license is?
Yes, this is allowing them to use the outdoor area in front of the location.
So like a waitress service?
Yeah, they have tables there and they have seating kind of carved out, and it's not open to the street. You have to go in to the inside to access it, I believe. But it'll allow them to use that space, and this should have been part of their original application, and it was a little bit of a comedy of errors that it didn't make it on there.
Okay, so it doesn't allow them to sell liquor outside, just
They'll serve liquor just as if it's a restaurant with outdoor dining.
Yeah.
Yeah. There won't be like off the street pull up and,
Right.
yeah. Part of the restaurant. Any other discussion? Let's take that vote, please.
Trustee Streit?
Yes.
Trustee Stalker?
Yes.
Trustee Oliniechek?
Yes.
Trustee Desmond?
Yes.
Trustee Phelan?
Yes.
Trustee Warder?
Yes.
Motion passes.
33B is ordinance 171449, an ordinance increasing the number of Class N like Nancy liquor licenses that can be issued in the village. Premier Fire and Grill, 6840 West 95th Street is the petitioner. I have a motion on 33B, please.
Motion to approve.
Thank you, trustee Warder, who made that motion.
Second.
Seconded by trustee Phelan. Any discussion? Let's take that vote, please.
Trustee Streit?
Yes.
Trustee Stalker?
Yes.
Trustee Oliniechek?
Yes.
Trustee Desmond?
Yes.
Trustee Phelan?
Yes.
Trustee Warder?
Yes.
Motion passes.
Thank you. 33C is a request to approve a Class B like boy liquor license. This is packaged liquor store and drug stores only for the Target store at 4120 West 95th Street. This was a 3-0 vote to approve in District 4. May I have a motion on 33C?
Motion to approve.
Thank you. Trustee Warder made that motion.
Second.
Trustee Stalker is our second. Any discussion? Let's call that vote, please.
Trustee Streit?
Yes.
Trustee Stalker?
Yes.
Trustee Oliniechek?
Yes.
Trustee Desmond?
Yes.
Trustee Phelan?
Yes.
Trustee Warder?
Yes.
Motion passes.
33D, ordinance 171450, an ordinance increasing the number of Class B like boy liquor licenses that can be issued in the village. This is Target Corporation doing business as Target Store, T2087 at 4120 West 95th Street. May I have a motion on 33D, please?
Motion to approve.
Thank you, trustee Warder
Second.
made that motion. Trustee Stalker is our second. Any discussion? Let's take that vote.
Trustee Streit?
Yes.
Trustee Stalker?
Yes.
Trustee Oliniechek?
Yes.
Trustee Desmond?
Yes.
Trustee Phelan?
Yes.
Trustee Warder?
Yes.
And I want to thank a member from Target staff for being here to answer any questions if it came up. It was a long meeting. Thank you very much.
I do have a question.
Oh, sure.
Could ask her.
Sure.
What percentage of Target stores sell liquor? And do you know why, when they built this store, they didn't make this request originally?
I can't answer the part.
Can you come to the podium?
Oh, yeah, no problem.
Thank you. And just give your name for the record and let us know if you live in Oak Lawn.
Yeah, my name's Sarah Christensen, and I've lived in Oak Lawn for 2 years. And I've worked at the Target in Oak Lawn for roughly 2 months, but I've been with Target for half a year. So I can't speak to why the Target in Oak Lawn didn't apply originally for the liquor license, but roughly, correction, not roughly, Target has 1,400 stores nationally that sell alcohol in 38 states. And we've been selling alcohol in Illinois since 2002, and we sell in 74 of our 92 stores in the state of Illinois.
Thank you.
Okay, that answers my question.
Thank you. Any other questions for Target? Okay, thanks for waiting all this time. I appreciate it. Okay, so 33E, request to approve implementing changes into the village code for liquor delivery services. May I have a motion, please, on E, 33E?
Motion to approve.
Thank you. Trustee Stalker made that motion.
Second.
Seconded by Trustee Desmond. Any discussion? Let's take that vote, please.
Trustee Streit?
Yes.
Trustee Stalker?
Yes.
Trustee Oliniechek?
Yes.
Trustee Desmond?
Yes.
Trustee Phelan?
Yes.
Trustee Warder?
Yes.
Motion passes.
Yeah, and for the press there, this is kind of a unique ordinance. It is requiring businesses outside Oak Lawn to have certain standards and guidelines. So let's say an Evergreen Park business delivers to Oak Lawn, violations of this allow us to fine them. And let's say it requires, specifies the hours of delivery, the age of the person delivering, the method of payment, and requires signatures and gets in line with our state statute. And it gives us a way to go after them if they are not in compliance. Whereas right now, there's nothing we could do.
Mayor, if I could, the important difference between businesses that are in Oak Lawn versus not in Oak Lawn is that we have the right to take the liquor license away today for businesses in Oak Lawn, and there's no control over what people from outside of Oak Lawn do. Those are various people who live in other villages.
Are they?
But this gives us some opportunity to control liquor sales in the village.
And the minimum fine on
Is
this is $1,000, no less than
Pretty
$1,000.
strict.
So,
Motion
you know,
approved.
thank you. Trustee Oliniechek made that motion. Second?
Second.
Can we have a second?
Second.
already? Second by Trustee Stalker.
Yes.
Any further discussion? Let's take that vote.
Trustee Streit?
Yes.
Trustee Stalker?
Yes.
Trustee Oliniechek?
Yes.
Trustee Desmond?
Yes.
Trustee Phelan?
Yes.
Trustee Warder?
Yes.
Motion passes.
33F, Ordinance 171451, an ordinance amending Title 3, Chapter 3 of the Village Code to add Section 23, Delivery Service Instructions. May I have a motion on 33F?
Motion. Go ahead. Motion to approve.
I'm going to give it to Trustee Stalker, and Trustee Warder is our second. Any discussion? Let's take that vote, please.
Trustee Streit?
Yes.
Trustee Stalker?
Yes.
Trustee Oliniechek?
Yes.
Trustee Desmond?
Yes.
Trustee Phelan?
Yes.
Trustee Warder?
Yes.
Motion passes.
So 33G, appointments to the Local Business Support and Development Commission. I'm going to ask the board for indulgence in the interest of time to approve these on the list as a group. I'll read them. If anyone would like them individually, let me know now, and we'll discuss them individually. Otherwise, we'll do it as a group in the interest of time. So these are the recommendations for the newly formed Local Business Support and Development Commission. The trustee liaison will be Trustee Bud Stalker. In District 1, Rita Olson. District 2, Nick Galino. District 3, Sylvia Cisneros. District 4, Ernesto Pedroza. District 5, Jack Baker. And then the Chamber of Commerce president would always be a member. And then we are also have the potential for more members we are adding to this commission. But we wanted to at least get them started. So I'd like a motion, please, on
Motion to
those
approve.
items. Thank you. Trustee Stalker made that motion, seconded by Trustee Warder. Any discussion? Let's call that vote, please.
Trustee Streit?
Yes.
Trustee Stalker?
Yes.
Trustee Oliniechek?
Yes.
Trustee Desmond?
Yes.
Trustee Phelan?
Yes.
Trustee Warder?
Yes.
Motion passes.
Thank you. Just general village matters, just very briefly. you know, there was a online organization of safety, the safety industry, and they evaluated nationally municipalities above 50,000 people, and they ranked them, and Oak Lawn, I think, was number 79 in the nation on most safe communities, and it's something to be really proud of. You saw our police department, what a source of great pride, the good work they do. It's a testament to the outgoing chief's efforts and the team effort here. We're just very, very proud of that. And this is an email out of the blue. You get it, and you're like, is this, first of all, is it real? You know, and you check it out, and it is. And it's pretty awesome to have that recognition from someone with no interest in Oak Lawn and you know, a national organization. So we're pretty excited about that.
Can I make a quick
Yes.
comment, Mayor? Yeah, this was over, pretty close to 800 communities across that were evaluated, and I took the time to read the communities, and they're listed. We were 79 out of those 800, which range from the East Coast to the West Coast. Pretty amazing fact, and I'm so proud of our police department and have been a member of it that I was busting my buttons when I read it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's an incredible, nice recognition. It's very nice. So a lot of people are seeing the positives in Oak Lawn. Item, 34, executive session 2017-09. For the purpose of discussing, number 1, reviewing for approval of minutes of closed meeting 2017-08, dated June 13th, 2017, and number 2, pending litigation. May I have a motion, please, on 34? I think that was trustee Oliniechek.
Second.
And seconded by trustee Stalker. Any discussion? Let's take that vote.
Trustee Strite?
Yes.
Trustee Stalker?
Yes.
Trustee Oliniechek?
Yes.
Trustee Desmond?
Yes.
Trustee Phelan?
Yes.
Trustee Vorder?
Yes.
Motion passes.
Thank you, and thank you everyone for coming out. We're gonna go into executive session in a minute or two, so we do need to clear the room. If you guys have school forms,